A 9-year-old girl with a damaged walk pushed open the door of a busy coffee shop, the cold wind slipping in behind her. One leg moved stiffly, the prosthetic beneath her jeans forcing her steps into an uneven rhythm. She paused just inside, gripping the strap of her worn backpack as conversations softened around her. One by one she approached tables, her voice barely audible each time she asked the same question. "Can I sit here?" Each answer was the same. Polite excuses, uncomfortable glances, quiet refusals. Her name was Lena Harper. She was small for her age, her thin frame swallowed by an oversized coat that had once been pink. Strands of uneven brown hair escaped from beneath a knit cap, brushing cheeks pale from the cold. Pain burned through her hip with every step, but she refused to cry. Crying in public had taught her nothing except disappointment. The cafe was warm and inviting, filled with the scent of coffee and bread, its brick walls decorated with old photographs of the town. Usually it felt safe. Today it felt heavy. Lena scanned faces the way someone learns to do when safety is uncertain. She wasn't searching for kindness anymore. Just permission. Just a place to rest. When she reached the final table, tucked into a dim corner, she hesitated. A man sat there alone, tall and broad, his posture straight even in a chair. At his feet lay a large German shepherd, alert but calm. The man looked up, his gray eyes steady. "Can I sit here?" Lena whispered. Without hesitation he slid the chair back with his boot. "Yeah," he said simply. "You can." Relief flashed across her face for half a second before her balance failed. Her prosthetic caught on the floor and she stumbled forward. The man stood instantly, catching her gently before she fell. His grip was firm but careful, the kind that steadied without frightening. "You're okay," he said quietly. The dog rose as well, stepping close but not crowding, his presence calm and protective. Lena sat down, embarrassed but grateful. As she adjusted her sleeve, bruises appeared on her arm, old and new, layered in a way that told a story without words. The man noticed everything. His name was Staff Sergeant Daniel Cole, a U.S. Marine. He said nothing yet. Years of discipline had taught him patience. But something inside him sharpened. When he asked her name and whether she was hungry, Lena nodded cautiously. Food arrived soon after. She ate slowly, carefully, like someone unsure when the next meal would come. Outside, snow drifted steadily past the windows. For the first time in days, Lena felt something unfamiliar settle in her chest. Safety. Daniel knew better. This was only the beginning. As the cafe quieted, Daniel watched Lena more closely, not with curiosity but with concern. Her movements were careful, her posture guarded. The bruises on her arm were impossible to ignore now that he knew to look. They weren't random. They were patterned. Repeated. Rex, his German shepherd, shifted closer to her chair, positioning himself like a silent shield. Trained as a military working dog, Rex reacted not with aggression but awareness. He sensed fear the way others sense sound. "Does your leg hurt?" Daniel asked gently, nodding toward her prosthetic. "Most of the time," Lena admitted. "My aunt says I just need to deal with it." The word aunt landed heavily. Daniel kept his voice calm. "Where is she now?" "At home. She doesn't like it when I'm gone." Little by little the truth came out. Lena's parents had died in a car accident the year before. She now lived with her aunt, Carol. Carol complained constantly about money, about doctor visits, about the cost of Lena herself. When Daniel asked about the bruises, Lena rolled her sleeve higher on her own. "She gets angry when I'm slow," she whispered. "Or when I make mistakes." Rex let out a low sound, barely audible. Daniel rested a hand on his neck. Then came the hardest truth. Lena explained how she lost her leg. Not an accident. Not really. Her aunt had backed the car while Lena was behind it. She'd seen her. She hadn't stopped. No one had asked Lena what really happened. The police believed her aunt. The doctors listened to the adult. Lena was just a child. When Lena admitted she'd overheard her aunt talking about money, insurance money, and saying she'd be free if something happened to her, Daniel made a decision. He asked a trusted barista to stay with Lena and stepped aside to make a call. The man on the other end didn't hesitate. "Don't let her go back," he said. Daniel returned and knelt in front of Lena. "You did the right thing coming here," he told her. "You're safe now." Fear and relief battled in her eyes, but she nodded. Rex pressed close, solid and warm. The snow kept falling outside, unaware that a line had just been crossed, one that would not be undone. They left the cafe quietly and drove north. Daniel chose a small motel where questions weren't asked and names didn't matter. Inside the room, he adjusted Lena's prosthetic carefully, explaining each movement and asking permission before touching. She relaxed a little, surprised by being treated with care. That evening help arrived. Men Daniel trusted, former Marines who understood evidence and timing. They listened as Lena spoke. Not rushing her. Not interrupting. Just listening. They documented everything. The bruises. The prosthetic damage. The timeline. Neighbors were contacted discreetly. Records were pulled. The patterns were undeniable. Calls to child services that went nowhere. Warnings ignored. The next morning, authorities moved. A warrant was issued. The house was searched. What they found confirmed everything. A locked pantry. A chart tracking food like punishment. A small room barely fit for storage, let alone a child. Lena stayed with Daniel at the hospital while the truth unfolded. Doctors confirmed the prosthetic was dangerously ill-fitting. The injuries were consistent with neglect and abuse. Her aunt was arrested. Charges followed quickly. This wasn't carelessness. It was intent. That night, Lena slept deeply for the first time in months. Rex lay beside her bed. Daniel stayed in the chair, unmoving, keeping his promise. The system moved slowly, but it moved. Months later, spring replaced winter. Lena walked with more confidence now, her new prosthetic fitted correctly. Physical therapy strengthened not just her body but her spirit. In a quiet courtroom, the judge asked a simple question. Where do you feel safest? Lena didn't hesitate. She squeezed Daniel's hand. With him, she said. And Rex. Guardianship was granted. Permanence recognized. Life became routine in the best way. School. Therapy. Parks by the river. Daniel learned how to be present in ways uniforms never taught him. Rex never left Lena's side. On her 10th birthday, Lena made a wish and smiled. I already have it, she said. Some miracles don't arrive loudly. They arrive when someone chooses not to walk away.